Hello, welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj, and today I'll be giving you Capper Comparison Picks for a prelim fight and two main card fights, so we're going to call them Select Fights. Be sure to check out the videos I did earlier this week where I covered 6 prelim fights. And this is a short notice fight. I don't even have enough cappers to do this, but I'm gonna give a small short breakdown anyway regarding this fight. So UFC Vegas 58, interesting card, very hard to pick, very tricky card to pick sides. Not too many chalky picks, but there are some very chalky picks as well. But without further ado, let's just get into this. I don't got time to dick around here. So, all right, starting the show. Well, as I mentioned, this is a short notice fight. I mean, originally it was supposed to be David Onama taking on Austin Lingo. Austin Lingo withdrew for unknown reasons. So in comes Garrett Armfield. Garrett Armfield did fight before with David Onama. They fought back in 2018 for a Kansas City Fighting Alliance Amateur Featherweight Championships. Champion versus champion. They came in, and I rewatched the entire fight again, and it was pretty good, actually, very good. It was weird, 3-minute rounds for that amateur championship fight. Of course, David Onama won a unanimous decision, and I already mentioned I don't have this because this Garrett Armfield comes in at short notice. I think this was announced maybe today, so there was a few cappers that I did have a breakdown for this. R2 MMA Analysis, he has a breakdown for this. Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics also has a breakdown for this. I watched. Everybody in the world is on the side of David Onama. Obviously, look, he's a -700. So this is a full capper consensus without even knowing the cappers. But I'm here to give just a little rough breakdown anyway, despite not having cappers to throw on this board and make the board dirty. But we're going to talk about these fighters regardless, because they are fighting this Saturday in Onama vs. Armfield 2. Okay. David Onama comes in huge favorite, -700. Yeah. He's got a professional record of 9-1. He has a 10-0 amateur record. Never seen defeat as an amateur. Only one loss as a pro, and that was his UFC debut against Mason Jones. Before that, all his professional fights were in FAC, Fighting Alliance Championships, which is out of Missouri. He trains at Glory MMA. Glory MMA puts their fighters into the regional scene, Fighting Alliance Championships, on a regular, and that's where he resides from. Oddly enough, Garrett Armfield, also a Missouri native, but now fighting out of Sanford MMA. Garrett Armfield, also extensive background in KCFA, which is Kansas City Fighting Alliance. That's what they call the amateurs, KCFA. After you become a pro, you jump up to FAC, Fighting Alliance Championships. And he does have some fights in there. But let's start with the big, heavy favorite in David Onama. David Onama, 3 years older than Armfield. He's 28. Armfield is 25. Okay, David Onama, striker from Uganda. He's got like a boxing background. I don't really know much of his history prior to MMA, but I read a couple bios. I did a little bit of sleuthing, diving. I couldn't find much. I looked on his Instagram. I read Sheer Dog. I read all these all these things about David Onama, but he does. He wanted to become he likes combat sports growing up. Then he started training MMA, but the emphasis on boxing. He wanted to be a boxer, actually. So I don't know of his BJJ or wrestling background. I know he does have 3 submission victories, all by guillotine. That is a go-to for those that are like casual practitioners of grappling, because it's very easy to get guillotine. Guillotine is like BJJ 101. It's like one of the first submissions to learn. Guillotine, rear naked choke. Those are, you know, the first. They're pretty easy to pull off no matter your skill set. You know, if it's there, you grab the neck. Okay. So training out of Glory MMA. On his Instagram, it shows, like I said, I think this fight was literally announced today, so they don't have a lot of posts that are actively recent, but David Onama does have some posts in the past where he's training with Jeff Molina out of Glory MMA. The Ugandan native will have a 4-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. As I mentioned, this is a rematch between the two. I watched, and David Onama, I'll tell you what, Garrett Armfield, tough as nails, durable. I would I watched the fight and I gave him a little bit, as 3-minute rounds is quick. I watched the fight and I think the first round could have gone to Armfield. He did have a lot of volume. Killer leg kicks. He had, throughout the entire fight, he tore up David Onama's leg, his lead leg, so much that David Onama mid-fight had to switch stances just so his lead leg, he was started out as orthodox, had to switch to southpaw because his left leg was getting battered by Garrett Armfield. Onama's coming off a win against Mowgli, Gabriel Benitez, where he took him out round 1, standing TKO. Good on David Onama. Before that was his one and only loss as a fighter. Undefeated as an amateur, 1 loss as a pro, and that was to Mason Jones in his UFC debut, and they went to unanimous decision. Mason Jones is a very extremely good fighter. Before that, FAC, as I mentioned, he beat this guy, Brad Robinson, strikes round 1. Mike Plazola, knee injury, 44 seconds of round 1. Interesting. I didn't get to watch that. Before that, he got a guillotine. Told you he does have 3 submission victories by guillotine. He got that round 3. Now let's talk about his opponent in Garrett Armfield. I don't have to be on my knees. I'm not writing down any cappers. because as I mentioned, there's not the cappers I did watch. Everybody is taking Onama. Artem MMA. He did a breakdown. Check it out. I'm going to use him for these anyway, so his link will be in the description. Check it out. He does a breakdown for this. He's taking Onama clearly. Vlad taking Onama without a doubt. Everybody else is behind the ball. They have yet to break this down. There's probably a couple that I missed, but as of today, I only found a couple. Garrett Armfield. Now, this guy did a little deep research into him as well. This is going to be his UFC debut. Coming in short notice, opportunity knocked. Austin Lingo withdrew, so he got called up. Hey, you want to fight, or you want a rematch against David Onama? That was these guys both. It was their last amateur fight before they both turned pro. As I said, it was a amateur championship bout for the KCFA featherweight belt. Garrett Armfield, most recently, the FAC bantamweight champion. That's right, he beat the guy named Stephen Graham. Strikes in 33 seconds of round 1. Phenomenal, good for him. He became bantamweight champ. This happened in May 6th to be exact. This is just recently. I mean, we're just into July. It's July. Today's July 6th. It was 2 months ago, 2 months ago. He won the belt for the Fighting Alliance Championships. Same card as my good friend Don Shanis. Don Shanis won the Don Shainis is a featherweight champ over FAC. I don't know why he didn't get a call up for this fight. But anyway, whatever. Don Shainis, FAC champ, and friend of mine, buddy of mine. I went to watch him at Cage Titans. Don Shainis will one day, mark my words, Don Shainis will come to the UFC and tear in. He's a hot prospect before he's even in the UFC. Anyway, Garrett Armfield. He's got only 2 losses in on his record. He took a loss in Cage Fury CFFC to a guy named Mateo Vogel. Got rear naked choke round 2. Just got caught. Rear naked choke submission. Couldn't help it and got submitted. He also has a loss to, this is a familiar name, Ronnie Lawrence. Ronnie Lawrence opening this card up. That happened in LFA, and that was a unanimous decision loss. So he did go the distance with Ronnie Lawrence back in LFA. Garrett Armfield, training out of Sanford, Henry Hooft and Company. That's right, definitely training out of Sanford. There's pictures of him training with LFA fighter named Adamu Isa. Adamu Isa. I don't know, but he does have some pictures of him training with him. Has a picture. It's like I said, these aren't that recent, but he has a picture maybe 5 weeks ago training with Amanda Nunes, the Lioness, and it was just him posing with her. They're both sweaty, and he's like, "Thanks for the great training today, Lioness," or Amanda, whatever he said. But interesting enough, Garrett Armfield, a BJJ purple belt. A year ago, he's got posing with his purple belt, with his gi on, with Gilbert Burns, of all people. Gilbert Burns, black belt, Sanford. So you know he does have a little BJJ in his back pocket as well. Speaking of that, he was a decorated high school wrestler out of Eureka, Missouri. Eureka, a top wrestling school out of Missouri. I checked out their Facebook. The spring wrestlers make winter champions. And they wrestle year-round over in Eureka. They have spring tournaments. They have a summer wrestling camp for all ages. They continually send their high school athletes to colleges to wrestle. Phenomenal. Eureka High School Wrestling. I couldn't find his record, but I know he was like a standout, and he was even mentioned in the Eureka High School Wrestling. They even got their own page, Eureka Wrestling, Eureka High School Wrestling, whatever. And this congratulations alumni Garrett Armfield for his victory back in like was it maybe the FAC one? I don't know, but they had a little thing for him posting. Garrett Armfield 8-2, 100% finish rate on all his wins. He's got 5 knockouts, 3 submissions as well. As I mentioned, those 2 losses. He has only 1 loss as an amateur. Guess who that is to? David Onama by unanimous decision. You know what won that fight for Onama? Round 3, the clinch, knees to the head. The dude was kneed the crap out of Garrett Armfield. But I give Garrett Armfield the durability. He withstood it, and he was still coming back with bang, like overhand rights and everything. He was nonstop. He did not go down. He did not get wobbled. He took those, and these knees to the head from the clinch were strong. The commentators were like, whoa, how is he still standing? For real, Onama was kneeing the shit out of his head. Like boom, boom, like 2 double knees, 2 knees at a rip. And 3rd round was cut. If it was iffy, 3rd round, David Onama clearly won that one. That might have been, it wasn't a 10-8 because Garrett Armfield did land a couple overhands, landed some good shots, and I told you he beat the shit out of that leg, kicked the shit out of Onama's leg. Anyway, this line plus 450 on Armfield, minus 700 Onama. Come on, really? I understand Onama should win this. He should win this. However, I'm playing the contrarian side. I like to always take the underdog view of things. Onama, aside from guillotine, he's never been tested on the mat. I've read articles. I've looked through his past history. he's never been really tested. This guy, a standout high school wrestler from a fantastic high school, and purple belt in BJJ, where he's training with Gilbert Burns at Sanford MMA. I'm just saying, I might have to put a sprinkle at plus 450. Maybe he'll have a game plan. Maybe Sanford Henry Hoofton Company will give him a game plan to, like, hey, this guy outstruck you before back in amateur days. I know you think you can strike, and he does love his hands. Garrett Armfield, what I told you, that first round, I think he had more significant strikes in that amateur fight. So they might say, you know what? He doesn't know wrestling. You do. Take him down. If you take him down, you might be able to do something. I don't know. I'm just saying that I'm just looking from like devil's advocate. I'm going from a contrary point of view. But anyway, my pick is going to be Onama. I don't think he's going to knock him out, though, because he gave it his all during the amateur fight. He was kneeing the... I'm telling you, I don't know how this Armfield is tough as nails. He took it. He took it all. He never stopped. He kept swinging over right to the closing seconds of that third round. So I'm going to give Onama the decision win here. However, at plus money, plus 450, I will sprinkle a little bit of a scratch card, a little bit of a scratch off bet. You know, 10 bucks to win 45. Just a sprinkle on Armfield for a little quick money, just in case. But Onama will be my pick on Tapology by decision, and he should win. Moving on, now let's get into the capper comparison picks. This is where I compare my favorite cappers all week. New cappers every episode. I compare their picks, and then I give you mine after I see what they have to say. I put a lot of viewing time into watching these cappers, so that's why I do this whole thing. And I did it start out just to give me an edge against the bookies, an edge when I'm on the fence. Which side do I take? When in doubt, go with the capper majority. That's how I do it. But often, if I got a feeling, I do go against the capper majority. I've gone against capper consensus picks and still come out. But let's see about this. We've got the lightweight fight between Michael the Menace Johnson. Michael the Menace Johnson, fantastic fighter. I mean, he's untrustworthy, definitely untrustworthy. He can beat the best of them. He's beat Poirier. He's beat Ferguson. He's beat a lot of great fighters, but also can take losses by the worst of them too. Not by the worst, but he can take losses by subpar fighters. You know, not very great fighters as well. So let's he's the underdog plus money plus 200 here against Jamie Mullarkey. Hooligan. That's not his nickname on Tapology, but it is on Instagram. I've seen a lot of people in the comments say, let's go Hooligan. So I think that should be his name, if not yet. That's what his fans are calling him, Hooligan. Let's go Jamie Mullarkey. Let's go Hooligan. So the Hooligan, I'm going to call him that, Jamie Mullarkey, is the minus 235 favorite here. The line hasn't really budged. It was minus 240, so by just a little bit. Come on, really. Training out of Australia, place I really am not familiar with. I think it's called Magnus Martial Arts Arena. On his Instagram, he does familiar face. I did see Alexander Volkanovski rolling around with him down there, but everybody else I did not recognize. But Alexander Volkanovski definitely striking, holding pads, and training with Jamie Mullarkey. So interesting there. Jamie Mullarkey is going to have a 2-inch height advantage, half-inch reach advantage, which ain't shit. Nothing there. He's coming off a loss to the giant Jalen Turner, who is really earned my respect last week, and I think he's look out for Jalen Turner at 155. I don't even know how he makes that weight, but he does, and he's going to tear through that division. Be careful of Jalen Tarantula Turner. Before that, he took wins over Devontae Smith, punches round 2. Fantastic win over Kama Worthy, TKO in 46 seconds of round 1. Fantastic win over Was it Death Star, comma worthy, or something like that? I don't know. But and before that though, took back-to-back losses. He lost to Faraz Ziam, unanimous decision, and he lost to fellow countryman Brad Riddell. Actually, not fellow, because Mullarkey's Australian. Brad Riddell, I think, is from New Zealand. Same continent though. But lost to Brad Riddell, unanimous decision. So that's was he 2-3 in his last 5? 2-3 in his last 5. Coming off that loss to Jalen Turner. You can't really take much from his losses because they're all pretty decent fighters. His wins are also as well decent. Jamie Mullarkey will be the much younger fighter here, 27 years old. Michael the Menace Johnson, 36. Eek, 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 eek. Okay, let's talk about Jamie Mullarkey's opponent, Michael the Menace Johnson. Michael Johnson, training out of Sanford MMA, Sanford down in Florida. He's on Instagram, shows pictures of him with his buddy Danny Roberts, training with him. He's training boxing with this guy named Dieter Navarro. That's his boxing coach. He has a strength and conditioning coach named Jake Bonacci. And he's pictured also training with Gilbert Burns' brother, Herbert Burns. Posing with Herbert Burns and Danny Roberts post-training, obviously, because all three of them look like they just, got jumped out of a pool. They're all drenched in sweat, but loving life. Smiling, the Menace Michael Johnson there in Sanford, enjoying life. He's coming off a nice win over Alan Patrick. Alan Patrick by counter left to ground strikes. It happened in round 2. Thank goodness for him, because before that he took 4 losses in a row. But listen to his opponents here. I know Clay Guida, that was a one he should have won that one, but Clay Guida outfought him, got a unanimous decision victory there. Before that, he lost to Thiago Moises. Thiago Moises, fantastic. He lost by ankle lock in round 2, and once you get into some of those submissions, forget about it. You're just done. Before that, he lost a majority decision, meaning one of the judges scored a draw, but he lost to Stevie Ray. Not a good look there. You know what I mean? And before that, though, he lost to Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett, obviously climbing the ranks. He wants to go for the strap. I mean, Josh Emmett's on a tear right now. He lost to Josh Emmett by overhand right, round 3. So that's Michael Johnson's last 5, 1-4. On his Instagram though, he's got like motivational. He's got like what's it called? There's like a YouTube motivational channel, and they made a Michael Johnson like mini movie or something, and it's directed by so and so whatever, and it's called Last Chance Michael Johnson, and it has like he's like, I've lost 4 in a row. And like this was like right before the Alan Patrick fight, Alan Patrick, whatever you want to call him. Right before that fight, I think because he's like, once you've hit rock bottom, and he's like, I still want to be champ. I still want to come up. I have the talent. I know I can do it. And he's absolutely right. If he comes in top notch, there's nobody beating him. I'm telling you, he's beat some of the best. He beat Dustin Poirier. He beat Ferguson. Who else was in? I don't know. I can't remember all of them. But he's speckled with a lot of losses in there too as well. So he's like untrustworthy. I don't know which version of Michael Johnson you're gonna get. You're gonna get the shitbag, or you're gonna get the champ, the killer that's given Dustin Poirier his worst beating ever. I think he took out Dustin Poirier in the first round or something. I do believe he beat him worse than Conor beat him. Seriously. Anyway, check out his Tapology. It's like blows your mind a little bit. But now he's at 36 years old. But here's the thing: he's plus 200. I don't know. Let's see what the cappers have to say in this fight here between these two lightweight 155-pound fighters. Taking the favorite and Jamie Mullarkey, we've got what's going on. Bleed MMA. Oh, Bleed's awesome. Bleed all about Jamie Mullarkey. Same reasons I just said. Michael Johnson, untrustworthy. Mullarkey, you can bet he's gonna fight for your dollar. Then we've got the MMA fortune teller, the teller. The teller. He's siding with Mullarkey, but he's also says, hey, if you're betting money on Mullarkey, take caution because Johnson might come and just take your money from you. He might spoil that bet for you. Then we got Artem MMA analysis. As I mentioned, he does do a breakdown for this on a separate video, but he has a full card breakdown. Artem, he does a early quick pick breakdown video. Then he does later on in the week, he does a full card, like more in-depth breakdown video, and that's the one I've been using as of lately because I don't like the quick pick ones because then they change their mind, so it's not legit. I like it after they do research, then they get the real pick. And Artem's real pick is Jamie Mullarkey. Then we have it's a split. Sherdog has two hosts or two guys that do the show. One is Keith Schillen, and the other guy's name is Ben Duffy. And Keith Schillen and Duffy, that's what it is. I think that's what they're called. Sherdog Schillen is on the side of Jamie Mullarkey, but over here, Sherdog Duffy is saying it's going to be Michael Johnson TKO round 1. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And then finally, to cap out this capper comparison picks, we've got another contrarian taking the underdog. We've got Leighton from UFC Gambling Addicts. Also taking Michael Johnson. Let's go! He's like, I think he's gonna win back-to-back. I picked him against Alan Patrick, and I'm gonna pick him here. I think he's gonna have back-to-back wins and beat Jamie Mullarkey here. He didn't really say, but I think he wants to say. I think he's saying by knockout as well. So here I am. I've been back and forth. I have because this is standing out 27-36. But after watching that motivational, he's got little snippets of who's that one motivational speaker that's Les Brown. Les Brown. He's like, Les Brown is like, I've been down in the dirt. I've been poverty strucken. I've lost it all. He's got that, and he's showing like Michael Johnson. And this is in his video. It's like in the background, and it's saying all this stuff. When you've lost it all, you've gotten, but then you find that strength. You find that push to keep on going, to fight for all this, great motivational crap. I don't know. I should check out the YouTube, the full length mini movie, or I don't know, even a video. I don't even know what it is, but I liked what I saw anyway. I'm going to take Michael Johnson here for the plus money upset, and I think he's going to get it done. Let's look at Jamie Mullarkey. He lost to Jalen Turner, TKO round 2. Free Sim and Brad Rydell by decision. But I think Johnson's got that power. He's got that power, and I think he's going to get it done by TKO. I don't know which round right now, but Tapology, I'm going to take Johnson, TKO. We'll say round 2. I'm not strong on the method or round, but I do think he's going to win. All right. So there you have that. Moving on. Now we have the people's main event. I'm just kidding. This is another back-to-back weeks of sloppy heavyweights. How that are main carders. We've got Jared Vandera taking on Chase Sherman, the Vanilla Gorilla. That's not even an original name. I mean, there's like 4 other fights. Jason Witt, isn't he Vanilla Gorilla as well? There's like 3 or 4 fighters named Vanilla Gorilla in the MMA. 2 of them that I know right off the bat that are in the UFC. Jason Witt and Chase Sherman, Vanilla Gorilla. Anyway, Jared Vandera, Chase Sherman. This is going to be an interesting fight. I picked it correct last time with the Alan Badeau, Josh Parisian. I picked that. Everyone was like, stay away, do not bet this fight. Well, I bet it big on Josh Parisian, and he came through for me as expected. Cha-ching, cash it. But this one, I'll bet this one too. Screw it. Anyway, let's get to talking about it. We've got the favorite, Jared Vandera. Much bigger guy. I think he's weighing in right around the max, right around. I don't know. He's starting to slim up in his Instagram. He's looking more. He's looking buffer than he has been as of recently. But he usually comes in over 260, roughly around there. Where Chase Sherman comes more of like a 245, 250. Little bit of a lighter heavyweight there. Okay. Jared Vandera training out of Team Quest and Dan Henderson's Fitness Athletics or something. Dan Henderson's place and Team Quest. They're like, I think they're real close. Like Team Quest is in Hammett, California, and Ben Henderson's is in Temecula. And I think they're like, I know Jared Vandera's wife is a hairdresser, barber, whatever, in Temecula. That's what I gathered off Instagram. And so I think he travels between gyms, and I think Team Quest is his gym, to be honest with you. But I think they're both like the same. Because you go to the Dan Henderson's gym and you'll see a Team Quest thing on the wall. So I don't know what's going on there, if they're associated with each other, but anyway, that's his deal. That's Team, because Vandera also, he's got some instructional, he does some BJJ coaching at Team Quest, and he's got some instructional, like how to do a savage armbar. Jared Vandera is going to teach me how to do a savage armbar. Let's check it out. The trick, pinch your knees together. Then when you lean back, twist the arm a little bit, they can't help but tap. Anyway, check it out for yourself on his Instagram. It's IG. So Jared Vandera, 30 years old. Chase Sherman, 32. Jared Vandera coming off of 3 losses. He most recently lost to Alexei Olenek, the boa constrictor by neck crank by scarfold, or neck crank via scarfold lock, and that was happened in round 1. Not good, Jared Vandera. Before that, he lost a split decision to Andrei Arlovski. Andrei Arlovski, a common opponent to both. Andrei Arlovski also beat Chase Sherman, unanimous decision. So at least when Andrei Arlovski fought Jared Vandera, one of the judges went the way of Jared Vandera. And before that, he lost to Alexander Romanov, ground and pound, round 1. Another common opponent. Alexander Romanov is the most recent fight for Chase Sherman. I'm going to get into that a little bit. And also beat him Americana, round 1. Submission, it's an arm lock. Kind of like a Kimura, just a different angle. Weird. But before that, Jared Vandera had a nice win over Justin Tafa, the Australian. Justin Tafa, he beat him by unanimous decision. That's good. But before that, he lost to Sergey Spivak, ground and pound, round 2. So, 1-4 for Jared Vandera. But I don't know. He will have a 2-inch reach advantage here over Chase Sherman. They're both the same height. Also, I want to add, in his Instagram, where he's training at both gyms, Team Quest, Dan Henderson's. I don't know if it's the same gym or whatever, but there's pictures of him training with Smiling Sam Alvey. I love that. And he's also pictured with a BJJ guy named Diego Vasquez, who is number 14 in the world, in the entire planet for no-gi BJJ. I think Vandera's got some pretty good BJJ. I just want to say, he's doing instructional videos. He's doing some coaching himself and training with this guy, Diego Vasquez. number 14 in the entire world for no gi. That's pretty good. Let's talk about Chase Sherman. Chase Sherman fighting out of Sanford. He was fighting out of ATT Dilbertsville, but now he's moved over to Sanford MMA. Sanford's coming mob deep onto this card. A lot of fighters coming out of Sanford this card. The Vanilla Grill is coming off of 4 losses in a row. How is he still in the UFC? I'll explain how. Well, all right. His most recent was a short notice fight against Alexander Romanov. Because he took that fight on such short notice, UFC made a deal with him, gave him a 4-fight contract. Here you go. This is fight number 2 of 4. So even if he loses this, he's still got 2 more fights left on the UFC contract at double pay. This news came from Artem MMA. Check his links will be in the description. Check out Artem MMA Analysis. He's the one that he schooled me on this. He gave me this info. Double pay 4-fight contract just to jump in there and fight Alexander Romanov. That's saying they think Alexander Romanov is a contender. And I agree. I think he should have a rematch against that El Guapo. What's that guy's name? I can't. His nickname's El Guapo. Is the one where Alexander Romanov he got nut shot. He got nut punched, and he's like, I can't go on anymore. I can picture the guy. Juan Espino? Juan Espino? Is that it? I think it is. I think that might be it. I think he should have a rematch against Juan Espino. That's what I think. Because that fight, I picked Juan Espino for the upset there. Anyway, regardless. Before losing to Alexander Romanov by Americana round 1, he lost to Jake Collier. Fat Collier beat him rear naked choke in round 1. Come on, Chase. Come on, buddy. Before that, he lost to Parker Porter. Parker Porter outstriking him on the feet. Parker Porter's not, he's a big old dude, but he's not like he's a decent fighter too. He's good fighter, but you'd think with this guy's small he's smaller, he's a smaller heavyweight, you'd think he'd be a lot faster. He wasn't. Parker Porter was piecing him up on the feet. Before that was his loss to Andrei Arlovsky. Like I said, unanimous decision, not a split decision like Vandera, full out unanimous. And before that was his TKO round 2 win over Ike Villanueva. Good, finally good, Chase Sherman. You got one against Ike Villanueva. And Ike Villanueva, not horrible. I mean, probably in the same boat with these guys and Alan Badeau and Josh Parisian. But I'm just saying, kind of, they're all in the same category as in low-level heavyweights. I'll just say what it is. It's called duck a duck. Anyway, so let's see what the cappers have to say in this low-level, sloppy heavyweight fight that could go either way. Oh, Jared Vandera also, Mr. Gothic, and I was checking out his Instagram. I would hang out with the dude. He's my type of dude. Like my type. He knows how to have a good time. He shows him at like an anime convention. That's cool. Shows him at concerts, like some obscure like goth metal bands and crap. Just his hairdresser girlfriend's hot. Wife, I'm assuming wife, because and they have kids together. He's a really cool. Chase Sherman's pretty cool too, but I like Garrett Vandera. I'm already spoiler. You already know who I'm picking. But anyway, let's see what the cappers have to say in this fight. Taking Vandera, we've got Artem MMA. Definitely check him out. He's the one that gave me the info about Sherman's 4-fight contract, double pay. I would take that too. And boy, Chase Sherman is flexing that. He's showing pictures out of his hotel room of the poolside. Shows pictures of his feet up, laid back, looking at the sunset. Shows pictures of him on his Harley Davidson. He's enjoying that double pay life. He's enjoying it. I'm letting you know. He does have some videos of him not really of him, but he has videos of Sanford MMA, but not really of him. There's the first video you see, it says turn your phone, so you gotta turn your phone, and it's like a musical video, and the song is awesome. It's like Eminem's vocals onto a CCR track, like Fortunate Son, but Eminem singing, rapping the one of his, I forget. Oh, What About Dre? It sounds awesome, and it shows like all the pros over at Sanford getting in. It shows flashes of Chase Sherman, nothing spectacular though. But then he does have a couple photos in there of him, you know, training, but not with anybody specifically. And it has a lot more photos of him kicking back, living the double pay life. Just saying, just pointing that out there. So, also taking Vandera, we've got the MMA fortune teller, the teller. Jumping on the side of Vandera. We've got both the guys from Sherdog, Keith Schillen and Ben Duffy. So put them in, and Duffy's saying TKO, round 2. Schillen is saying decision. So they're separate on the methods, but they're both on the side of Jared Vandera. And we've got What's Going On, Bleed MMA, also taking Vandera. However, we do have a contrarian picker. UFC Gambling Addicts. Leighton is pretty much, he's just like, do not bet Vandera at -180. The line moved, by the way, opened up at -180. Now it's at -205. So money's definitely been coming in on him. But he says, do not take Vandera. This is more of like a dog or pass spot for him. So I'll rate that dog or pass pick. Like he's going to go with a value. +175. Sherman there. Opened up at +155. So that moved a little bit as well. The bookies do want you to side with Sherman. But double-digit loss Sherman going against Vandera, the fighter / coach. That I mean, his losses are all well-known names: Andrei Arlovsky, Alexei Lonik, Alexander Romanov, and Sergey Spivak. I think are a touch better than Jake Collier, Parker Porter. I'm just saying, you know, just saying what I feel. So I'm also on board with Jared Vandera. I like the dude. He's a good dude. I like Chase Sherman too. He's a good dude as well. But right now he's just enjoying that double pay lifestyle. He's still got 2 fights after this, so it doesn't matter if he wins or loses. He's getting paid anyways. I would have took that opportunity as well. Short notice to get my ass beat by King Kong Romanov. 4-fight contract, double pay. Where do I sign? You know, who wouldn't take that? So I'm going to take Vandera to get it done. I think he might even get it done inside this. I think submission. As I said, he's been coaching a little BJJ, and he's got instructionals right on Instagram of how to do a savage armbar. I don't know. I like it a lot. I'm gonna go with Vandera by submission. Who knows what round? I don't know. On Tapology, I'll probably say round 1. Round 1. Yeah, might as well. Round 1. But I don't know. I really don't know. But I will take. I do know Vandera's gonna win, and I'm gonna put money on it. So to recap, time check, and way over, of course. Okay, to recap, I'm taking David Onama to beat Garrett Armfield. However, I will sprinkle a hedge bet on Armfield because he's such plus money. And then I'm gonna take upset Michael the Menace Johnson to find his championship ways. I think he's gonna come out to perform. I think he's refound that spirit that gave him wins over legends like Dustin Poirier and Ferguson. And I think he's gonna knock out Jamie Mullarkey round 2. TKO, ground and pound. I think it's going to be. I think he's going to rock him, follow him to the ground, and just come down with a bunch of ground and pound TKO over Mullarkey. And finally, I'm going to take Jared Vandera to get the win over Chase Sherman. I think he's going to use some jiu-jitsu and get a submission over Vandera. Probably not an armbar, but maybe like a, I don't know, rear naked choke or Darce choke or something. Guillotine, I don't know. But I'm going to pick Vandera to win by sub. So there you have it. Gather the info. Place those bets. Cash those tickets. I really appreciate you watching. Give me that thumbs up. Fill the comments with who you think's going to win these fights. This one, I know everybody in the world is taking David Onama. But realistically, take a look at it from the underdog side point of view. Armfield, if he does go in there with a game plan to wrestle, he might have a chance. And check out his amateur fight against each other. It was very entertaining. It's only three-minute rounds, so very quick entertainment fight there to watch. Thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets, and I'll see you tomorrow with Main Card.